Alright, as promised, let's get this Alice Cooper video off the ground. Finally. Okay, so, first 5 albums, nothing to sneeze at. They start off pretty weird, but eventually they get back on track. So, from the very beginning, this is Pretty's For You. Very Pink Floyd-esque. Like, very. If Sid Barrett listened to this as most stoned, even he wouldn't know what to make of it. That's how weird this thing is. I mean, it's not totally, like, Pink Floyd-ish. There is harmonica on a couple songs. 3 that I count. And, this one song, Levity Ball. It's mixed in mono for some reason. Yeah, I don't get it either. It's very hard to hear. I don't know if they lost the master stereo tape for it, or if, like, they made it that way on purpose. It is very disorienting, though. And for some reason, there's 2 tracks on here, both called the same thing, No Longer Umpire. Makes it very confusing, especially if people want to look it up. Okay, standout tracks on this one. I like the last song, Changing Arranging, because it's pretty much one of the most normal ones on it. I can get behind it. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Reflected. If that sounds familiar, it's because you know it as Elected. Yeah, this is one of the only bands I can think of that actually repackaged their songs into something else. They recycle them. So yeah, Reflected from this album became Elected on $1 Billion Babies. Go figure. But hey, at least you know this album is good for something. Okay, next. Easy Action. This one is what I imagined an early Alice Cooper album would sound like. Not the first one, this one. It's getting into the swing of things. For example, the first song, Mr. and Miss Demeanor, is the first cabaret-style song. I'm surprised. And it probably inspired a lot of stuff, like Some Folks on the Welcome to My Nightmare album. Kind of has that same kind of vibe. And the second one, Shoe Salesman, it sounds like the Beatles, like what they would have written, like, around this time. It's pretty cool. Oh, Return of the Spiders. They remixed this for the last album Alice Cooper did, like, this year. So, you know, it's one of their personal prides and joys. But yeah, this is Return of the Spiders, real ripper, with, you know, very cool bass line and very fast drumming, like very fast. And my favorite song on this actually is Beautiful Flyaway. It has the most beautiful piano melody I have ever heard. It just, you know. And the last song, which is Lay Down and Die Goodbye, very kind of gruesome title, but it's kind of like, you know, on the first Chicago album, there's an instrumental piece called Freeform Guitar. And it's nothing but Terry Kath, you know, making sounds with his guitar, like Jimi Hendrix would make. Well, yeah, imagine, like, that, but this is, like, 8 minutes, and there's only vocals at the end. So, yeah, it kind of works, kind of. And now we get to the one you've probably been waiting for since I started. The one that broke them. Love It to Death. Yeah, the cover has been altered for this re-release. Sorry. But, I can't think of a bad thing to say about this album. It's not one I listen to all the time, but it does have pretty cool ones. The shorter songs are real bops. I mean, Caught in a Dream, Long Way to Go, even Hallowed Be My Name, that's pretty cool. The one I never remember how it goes is Second Coming. Not that big. And then, you know, you got the hits. I'm 18, classic. Is It My Body? Pretty solid. And pretty much the other two songs I want to talk about in this one, Black Juju, quite possibly their first creepy song. Like, you can't not listen to it and be like totally scared all the way through. You never know what it's going to do. And it's very slow and somber. It's also 9 minutes, so yeah, prepare yourself for that. Very boring in places. But on this album, you also get the very first track where they talk about insanity. Yeah, that was a theme in Alice Cooper albums for a while. If, you know, the fact that you didn't later go to an insane asylum is anything to, yeah. This one, the one on this album, is Ballad of Dwight Fry. It is my favorite song on this album. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, next we got Killer. Yep. Or as everyone calls it, the one with the snake on it. This is like, I think this is the first time that Alice Cooper himself had a pet snake. I'm just assuming, because, you know, why not? Oh, and on the back cover, see that guy right there? Yeah. I think this is the first photographic appearance of his iconic eye makeup. So yeah, they're finding their niche here, and I can't find a bad song on this entire album. This is all gold. This is perfect. No complaints here. It is a master of dark atmosphere in places. But if you want me to talk about the actual songs, okay. Under My Wheels, pretty good ripper. I mean, you can play it on the radio and no one ever suspects it's Alice Cooper. Because it's just one of those songs about, you know, regular rock stuff. I don't know. Be My Lover. It's probably one of my favorite songs on this album. Just because the guitar riff alone, it's pretty cool. Halo of Flies, epic. That's how you do it. Not Black Juju, not Ballad of Dwight Fry even, but Halo of Flies. That's how you do one of those 8-minute or songs. And Desperado, which I believe he wrote about Jim Morrison dying, I think. Yeah, it kind of grows on you. I mean, back in the day, I wasn't into the slower songs. But yeah, Desperado kind of grew on me. Because it does pick up later in the song. You Drive Me Nervous. It's one of those songs I can take it or leave it, you know, depending on what mood I'm in. But yeah. I mean, sure, generic title, you know, but it's actually a real bop. And, what else? Dead Babies. Pretty much one of their earliest shock rockers, just on the title alone. Somehow I don't think it's about that, but I could be wrong. I could be really wrong on that. And Killer, title track. I think it's another trying to be, another Lay Down and Die Goodbye. But I think it actually kind of still works here, I think. But yeah, a little heads up. This is my favorite album that I'm going to show you today. Yep, of the first 5 Alice Cooper albums, this is the one I'd probably listen to the most. Second place goes to either Easy Action or Love It to Death. And now we end with the last place, the one I'd never want to listen to again, with a few exceptions. Scrolls out. Now, don't get me wrong, the title track is still amazing and it rocks and it still holds up to this day. And the second one, Looney Tune, is actually pretty funny. Public Animal number 9. I mean, these are all, you know, solid tracks. You can't go wrong with them. Another one of my favorites on this, up to a point, is Gutter Cat versus the Jets. I mean, for example, you know that Bronx accent, I think it is, that he does on Department of Youth? Yeah, that Gutter Cat versus the Jets is where that started. You learn something new every day. But also, weird thing about this is when they started using like actual keyboard, I believe. I think it's only on this album, from what I can tell. But whoever's playing the keyboard cannot play it, or they're just using a tone that's really dated and annoying as hell, because that ruins most of the songs on here. It's on half the songs in here. Now, don't get me wrong, the piano work is fine when you use an actual, you know, real piano, but the keyboard, dear God, they tried. But, I mean, what were they thinking? This came out in 72. Richard Wright and Rick Wakeman were doing better stuff in 1971. How? It sounds like someone's baby's first Casio. Okay? So if you want to enjoy stuff like Gutter Cat versus the Jets, that song, the keyboard kicks in around after the 3.5 minute mark. So if you want to like that song, cut it off at 3:30. So, you know, a little warning. But, yeah, the songs I did mention, they're good. You can seek them out on your own, because they're worth hearing. I mean, everyone knows school's out, right? I mean, even the schools have gotten behind the joke because they play it like every last day of school, right? That wasn't just my school. Yeah, well. Okay, so in conclusion, we've already established School's Out is the worst of these. Killer is my favorite. And these two, Love It to Death and Easy Action, are a close second. You know, they're kind of tied. You can enjoy them for different reasons, but for me personally, I listen to them again, like, every once in a while. Prettiest for You, that doesn't even belong in this this retrospective, to be honest. It's just too weird to be considered an Alice Cooper album, because like I said, it is very Pink Floyd. You know, it's just, you only listen to this if you want to see how weird music can get in general. Like I said, if you like early Pink Floyd, if you like that kind of stuff, this can take it to a whole new level at times. So, and that is the first 5 Alice Cooper albums ever released. And if you want to see the next 5, which, yes, I have got the next 5 too, please like, comment, subscribe. If I get enough good comments, maybe I'll do this again, because trust me, you don't want to miss the next 5, because that's when things get start really cooking. You know, $1 Billion Babies, Welcome to My Nightmare. Those are within the next 5. Something to think about. Okay, so that was it. I will see you with possibly 2 or 3 more videos in December. Signing off. See you next time.